start on the webinar. And welcome to all our Travel Week readers who are joining us today live from Zoom. I see you starting to file into the webinar. We have such an exciting show planned for today. I'm really excited to introduce Anton and Christy to all of you who are here from Visit Salt Lake. They have an amazing presentation planned, and I can't wait to learn more about all that is going on in this fabulous destination. A few notes of housekeeping before I pass the floor over to them both. Number one, if you have any questions during the webinar, please pop them into the Q&A box at the bottom. As always, I'll be on at the very end of the show today to ask any of those questions to our presenters on your behalf. With today's questions, though, we have a really exciting feature as well. So Visit Salt Lake, Anton and Christy are here to also offer an amazing prize. For those travel agents who stay through to the very end of the webinar, you are going to be eligible to win a Cotopaxi hip bag and also a Skull Candy Sesh wireless headphones. Woohoo! Those are two amazing gifts. Another note about today's prize, though, you will get extra entries into the draw when you ask a question in the Q&A for anything to do with today's presentation or any questions that you have about visiting Salt Lake or booking Salt Lake holidays for your clients. Every time you ask a question, you'll get another entry. So definitely a great time to ask those questions and get them answered and find out all the information you need so you can book an amazing Salt Lake City holiday for your clients. And so with that, and no further ado, I am going to pass the floor over to Anton, and Christy is here as well. Thank you both so much for being here. I can't wait, and I know our readers can't wait to learn more today, and take it away.
Thank you so much. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. We are really excited to be here. My name is Anton Eckert. I'm the Associate VP of Tourism Development here at Visit Salt Lake. And Christy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm the Travel Trade Coordinator, and I work with Anton at Visit Salt Lake.
Yeah, great. Well, I'm going to share my screen, but before while I'm doing that, I wanted to see by raise of hand, how many people have been to Salt Lake before? And if you have, tell us how, when's the last time you were here? Love to see that in the chat, just because we're curious. Because a lot has changed in Salt Lake, even in the last couple of years. And that's what I'm going to cover a lot today. One of the things is, I mean, right after the pandemic, we had four actually new hotels open up. So they were already in the pipeline, which is exciting. And it was great to have like new product out there as soon as everything started to open up. And I'll talk a little bit about that. But first, I'm going to start with a little video, and you can this whole presentation will be available to you. It's a platform called DigiDeck that we use, and it is dynamic, and you'll see all the features it has. But any updates that we make will be updated for you as well. We'll just send you the link for this this deck afterwards. So I'm gonna just enter here. Oh, sorry. So that's a great visual for you to kind of see what our city is about if you've never been here. So I'm going to get started. So Salt Lake is a really, as I mentioned, it's been growing. It's a really vibrant community. We are very close to the Rocky Mountains. If you're not familiar with where we are, we're surrounded by mountains, actually. We're next to the Great Salt Lake. It's one of the saltiest lakes in the US, I think, and the world. And it's just, you know, we are a very diverse community. We're very welcoming. We hosted the Olympics in 2002, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. We're very multilingual. We've got a lot of different cultures that live here. Our downtown is easy to walk around. It's compact. We have wide streets. Funny thing about the streets, so they're very wide because the pioneers who started this city had wanted to make sure that their oxen and their carts can make a U-turn without having to back up. And so the streets are very wide. The other kind of story I heard around that is also he wanted to be able to make sure that people could turn around without backing up or cursing. So that was the reason why we have really wide streets and avenues, which makes it a really idyllic location to be in when you're visiting. So as I mentioned, we are in the Rocky Mountains. This is the Wasatch Range behind us. So we're in the heart of the Mountain West. You see our temple right there in the center. We are next to the Great Salt Lake, as well as the Bonneville Flats. And those, if anyone is familiar with the movie, I think it's called the Indian, the motorcycle, that is, they did a land speed test here, and many land speed tests are done here in the Bonneville Flats, but also the Great Salt Lake it's a big birding area. Many of the birds that migrate stop here at the Great Salt Lake. There's a lot of brine fish that live there, brine shrimp that live there, and they're feeding off the brine shrimp. So a lot of that brine shrimp also gets shipped around the world. So if you're having seafood, a lot of it is probably due to the fact that they were living off some of the brine shrimp that come from the Great Salt Lake. We are the capital of Utah, if you didn't know that. Our Capitol building looks very much like the one in Washington, D.C., our main capital. It's also been a film location. If you've ever watched one of the, oh, my mind is going blank, Christy, if you remember the name of that movie, Legally Blonde, Reese Witherspoon was walking up one of the steps here that was filmed here. But inside the Capitol is a beautiful you can learn a lot about the history of our pioneers, as well as some beautiful artwork. A lot of the materials that were used to build this, the Capitol building, is all local. So you'll see a lot of local marble and copper as well. The copper top here you see also came from the copper mines, which were also known for back in the day when there were a lot of mining going on. We still have an active copper mine, actually. And one of the newest things they have on the top floor, it's the fourth floor of this building. If your clients are interested in going up there, we are celebrating the 100 years of film in Utah. So there's a whole exhibit up there that talks about all the films, and you'll see some of the images that might be very familiar to you. If you haven't been to Utah, you've probably seen it in the movies. We have the greatest snow on Earth, and this is actually been tested. That's why we can register it. So what happens is, as I mentioned, we have the Great Salt Lake next to us, and a lot of the precipitation that comes from there that pulls up into the clouds makes it very dry. So by the time it heads over to our ski resorts, and we have 4 of them, the snow is actually very powdery. So it's that champagne powder that everyone loves to ski in. Can get pretty deep at times. Last year we had some record storms. This year we're pretty average, but yeah, the greatest snow on Earth is it's really nice, fluffy, powdery, great snow to ski in and to be in. Because of that, because we have great snowfall, we were the host of the 2002 Winter Olympics. And in 2034, well, we are the preferred host city for the 2034 Olympics, which will be announced officially at the Paris Olympics this summer. So on July 24th, you'll be able to hear that we have been selected. We just can't say we're officially the host city, but we will be selected on July 24th this year as the 2034 Winter Olympics. So we're really looking forward to hosting the world again, and I'm sure everyone's going to be surprised at how much has changed since then. We are the home of the Utah Jazz as well. They're right here in our Delta Center. So we're big sports fans when it comes to that. We're also trying to look at getting a hockey team, which I know that would be really exciting for many of you Canadians, and as well as the baseball team. Those are a few years down the line, but it's definitely on our radar. We also have a soccer team called the Real Salt Lake that is very that's doing well as well in our as far as our teams. And then as I mentioned, we're a multilingual city. Many people here, different cultures, different backgrounds. Just everyone is a great mix of people here. We are at an elevation of 1,300 meters or 4,300 feet. And so we're a little bit higher than most destinations located by the sea. We always advise people when they come, make sure they drink water. You know, elevation sickness can affect some people, especially if they're going into the mountains, doing some hiking. Our mountain ranges can get pretty up there to like 8,000 feet. So just, you know, want people to prepare for that. Also, with the sun, you know, we're closer to the sun in this sense. So want to make sure you lather up with some sunscreen, don't get burned out there, be prepared for what there is to do in the outdoors. We're a 4-season destination. You can see our average highs and lows here. I mentioned our snowing. We get about 500 inches or 1,200 centimeters a year in snow, and we're about average this year as well. Last year, I mean, it was epic. We had 900 inches of snow, so almost double what we had. It was insane. It was crazy, but it was fun. A lot of fun. So our airport is actually brand new. I'm going to play this video in the background so you can kind of see some of the images. So we're the Delta's 4th largest hub airport. We service a lot of the airlines. I'll show you a route map shortly. They typically known as we rank as the #1 on-time airport. Our customs is very easy to get through and quick. A lot of people prefer coming through here than maybe say a place like LA, where it can be quite congested when it comes through clearing customs. And the best part about our airport is only 10 minutes away from the downtown, so it's super easy to get to them from the airport. As I mentioned, the airport is brand new. They've actually just completely destroyed the old one. The last bit of the old airport was demolished a couple months ago. And we're really looking at expanding the airport to, we have more gates. There's a whole nother terminal B. We've got a lot of construction going on out there, and we expect the whole construction to be completed by 2027. So well in time for the Olympics. So as I mentioned, we do service a lot of destinations, about 100 of them, including many to Canada. We have the record. They had a record number of visitors last year at 27 million. And I just want to show you the domestic route map here, because you can see how our connectivity is across the US. And then just to show you kind of where our airlift, where we have airlift and into Canada, Calgary, Toronto, and Vancouver here. You see with Delta, and Air Canada is kind of seasonal. Same with for Toronto, both Delta and Air Canada. So we're hoping to get more flights, more connectivity into Canada to Salt Lake. So more to come on that, and you'll see that hopefully the next couple of years. As I mentioned, it's super easy to get into from the airport to downtown. We have a light rail system called Trax. It's only $2.50. It's super cheap. And as I mentioned, it's only 10 minutes away. And then when you're downtown, you can actually ride for free. So there are areas, this is kind of the map that shows you here we are, here's Temple Square, and here's our convention center, and the airport's kind of out to the right here, but you can have all of these stops here within Trax are free for anyone who's traveling in the downtown area. We also have a green bike. It's a Utah's green bike program, and these are a great way to get around. A lot of stations around the city that you can pick these up from. We also have scooters too. I'm not going to go through this, but it's just it's an interactive map. You can, when you get this link, you can kind of scroll in here and find things that are, you might be interested in looking up for your clients. You can click through this list on the left here or through the map here and kind of if you're trying to figure out kind of where to go, how to figure out how to get around the city. But just to kind of show you, here's our airport, here's where the bulk of the downtown is. And then as you zoom further out, we're connected by Highway 15 to the north and Highway 80 going east to west. So those are the two main highways. And then we represent the county. So we kind of cover this whole area in the West Valley and the East Side, the South Valley. And then you've got our mountain range over here, the Wasatch that I talked about earlier. Give you a point of reference there. So Temple Square is one of our biggest attractions. It's the headquarters for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The temple is currently going through a multi-million-dollar retrofit and renovation. The plan for this was actually expected to happen before the pandemic, but of course, we all know that what that did to everyone's timelines, and basically it shifted. And so now the completion date for the temple and the everything on Temple Square and all the other places that people used to go and see have been pushed to early 26, 27. So this first picture here you see of the temple is, if you were to come today, you would see a lot of that in scaffolding, which is a little unfortunate for us, but we know when it's done, it's going to be amazing. One of the things you should know about that, if you're really interested in taking a peek inside. So all of the temples within the church are pretty sacred to the Mormons, and they want to, they have their special services and their special ceremonies within the church, within the temple. And this being the headquarters, it's everyone's really excited to maybe curious about what is going to be there. Well, what happens when one of the temples have been renovated, this goes across the world, is that when there's temples that are being renovated or being built, they usually have an open house. And so we're expecting that they will have an open house. We hope that they will open up for more than 3 months to get people so that people can come in and see. So, but if we're outside, if your clients are traveling outside of that window when it is complete, they are creating some areas within Temple Square that will allow you to kind of see what's inside without actually going inside. I'm not sure how they're building that yet. We've just kind of gotten a little bit of information on that, but that's one of the things I think we're really excited about, because as people come and they want to see, when the temple is done, they'll probably want to either go inside if they can get there within that 3-month window. We're hoping that they'll go to 6 months, but I'm sure after being closed for so long, they probably want to just get back to business. But we're really excited about that. So look for that late 26, 27. The other thing what is open, because there's a lot of scaffolding right now, is this. This is the Family Search Library. And this is one of the largest collections of genealogical records in the world. And it is really a great place if you're interested or your clients are interested in researching their history. This is a great place to go. They just need a little bit of information, typically like date of birth, well, parents and grandparents if you have that information, as well as your information, obviously, and then any date of birth. And if your parents or grandparents are no longer here, the date of death, and you plug that in, and outcomes is really great information on where, if there's information in there, they'll find it for you of your family history. You see here this picture, it's really it's interactive. There's a lot of video screens. They've even got a place to record stories in the back. It used to be, what I was told, a bunch of old people looking at looking at big books. When they renovated this, it was all online, and it's just an amazing place to go. Great for kids and families. Oops, sorry. Let me back at this up. I wanted to show you something else. Oops. Great for kids and families. As I mentioned, it's very interactive. You can, there's touch screens like this little boy is doing, you finding out who your family is. So it's a lot of fun. Some people, I had to drag my husband out of there after 2 hours. It was like, we need to go eat dinner because he just had a great time trying to research his family. His family went back to like the 700s. Mine doesn't go that far back, but it was still pretty fun to watch. The other thing that's open is the tabernacle. So this was completed in 1867. So it's a historic building, of course. The acoustics in here are amazing. They literally do a pin drop test where you can hear a pin drop from one side of the tabernacle to the other. And you see it's kind of oval shaped here. This is where the Mormon tabernacle choir practices. They're somewhat well known around the world. And if your clients are here on Thursdays, there's a free drop-in from 7:30 to 9:30 to hear them rehearse. And that's pretty cool. It's got this big organ you can see, and all these seats here are actually where the choir is. And I love this picture because you can see the choir is as big as, I think they have like 300 more than 300 people as part of their choir. So it's pretty cool to hear, and they do a great Christmas concert as well. We've got a couple of unique areas as well, attractions to visit. The Natural History Museum of Utah and the Red Butte Gardens are right next to each other. They're within 5 miles of the downtown area. And what I love about the Natural History Museum is that, they've got a lot of dinosaur fossils in there that are only found in Utah, and it's a huge exhibit. It kind of tells the story of our history through the millennia, and as you go up into the top floor, you start at the bottom and kind of walks you up to the top. They also have a First Peoples exhibit at the top floor, which is great. And you see how this beautiful building, it's an art piece in itself, and that it blends in with the backdrop. There's even a hiking trail that goes around here. And this is one of the cool things about Salt Lake is that we were actually an ancient part of the lake bed of Lake Bonneville, and the original Lake Bonneville trail. The trail that's up there now is the original kind of shoreline of Lake Bonneville, so you can see the entire city from up there. They do, as I mentioned, there's a lot of great fossils they found in Utah there. Great for kids to explore and see. It's very interactive. One of my favorite stories I heard about these kind of skulls is that some of these aren't actually they're plaster cast because they're so heavy. They couldn't figure out how to get them on there. But both the Natural History Museum and Red Butte Garden are are part of the University of Utah. And so they're working museums. Well, this was a working museum, and you can actually see the real stuff, and kind of there's a glass window that you can kind of peek through that shows that. But they're pretty cool. Even if you're not into dinosaurs like me, I thought it was pretty amazing. And then next to it, and then I wanted to mention this because I love this piece. They found in a cave like all these moccasins from the native peoples that were living here, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's up at the upstairs when you look at the First Peoples part of the exhibit. And then Red Butte Garden, again, this is the view that you would see from Red Butte as you're looking down into the valley. It's the largest botanical garden in the Intermountain West, and our state arboretum. So it's a great place to kind of hang out, especially in the spring when you see a lot of the everything blooming. Not good for my allergies, but it's great. It's just a beautiful place to walk around and explore as well. We have a zoo and aquarium. The Hogle Zoo stretches over 72 hectares or 42 acres, also along the hillside. It's at the mouth of the Immigration Canyon, and it's both the zoo and the aquarium are accredited, so they're meeting the highest standards of animal care. What I love about the Hogle Zoo is they have a wild Utah exhibit that focuses on the native wildlife that is here in the state. The Loveland Living Aquarium is just a little bit south of here in the city of Draper, and it's home to more than 6,500 animals with representing 500 species. So a great place to take kids and for families. The other thing is an area we have called This Is the Place, and this is where our pioneers who were coming to the state to kind of settle came to and said, you know what, this place is awesome. This is the place, and that's the name of this attraction. It's a pretty big, it's a state park and pays tribute to that pioneer life, our history, and the native tribes who have been here before us. We have some other cool art museums like the Leonardo that combines science, technology, and that's supposed to be art. In a creative and innovative way. We have both the Utah Museum of Fine Arts as well as the Museum of Contemporary Arts. That features a lot of great art there as well. And Dreamscapes is another one of our art attractions. It's created by the Utah Arts Alliances, and it's also another way to reimagine kind of what the traditional definition of art is through physical and digital artworks. Thanksgiving Point is another popular destination, particularly those visitors with families. There are a number of attractions out there. We've got the Museum of Ancient Life. Butterfly Biosphere is very, very popular. The Ashton Gardens is another great garden park. They have a tulip festival every May, mid-April to May, excuse me, featuring a lot of bulbs. I think they even hit a Guinness Book of World Records in terms of the number of bulbs they have out there for the tulips. And then there's the Museum of Natural Curiosity hands-on exhibit for a lot of kids out there, who are interested. It's about a 30-minute drive from downtown, but it doesn't deter anyone with kids. It's a great place to kind of see and explore for pretty much at least a half day. So we have a lot of attractions, and we want to make sure that people spend their time wisely while they're here and also save money. So we have a number of passes I just want to talk about that kind of include a lot of what I just talked about earlier, and then some. Our attraction passes cover 18 different attractions, and we divided that down into what we call Downtown Discovery, and these are all the attractions you can find within a 5-mile radius. We've got the Clark Planetarium that's part of that, as well as the zoo and the Red Butte Garden and the museum, the Natural History Museum I talked about earlier. And then we have what we call family faves, excuse me. This is kind of all the attractions we felt that were like the kids love, parents love it too, because their kids are running around, burning off energy. That includes like Thanksgiving Point, for example, as well as the zoo and the Natural History Museum. And then we have Salt Lake Specialties. And these are attractions that you won't find anywhere else in the world. They're unique to Salt Lake. And, we have the Olympic Park near Park City. We have This Is the Place as part of that as well. And all of these 3 passes are available on Viator, Get Your Guide, or Groupon. So you can pick them up from there, or you can pick them up from our website, which we have as well on there. We, as any urban city, have a number of performing arts, from the ballet to the symphony, Broadway theaters and concerts, all available here. We also have festivals and events, and I put a link here to our website that has a list of the current festivals and events that are happening. Sundance Film Festival, many people know about, that happens kind of in and around here, but as well as mainly in Park City, but we have some of it here as well. Pride, we have a huge Pride Parade. A lot of people are surprised about that, but as I mentioned, we're a very diverse community here, and our Pride Parade is something that we're actually proud of. We have a number of bars and restaurants. If you know, a lot of people don't feel, some people may feel like we aren't drinkers. Not say we drink like crazy, but we do we do drink. We have some James Beard nominated restaurants within our city, as well as a number of breweries and bars to experience. So we're growing our culinary offerings here. As I mentioned, we're diverse. So we've got a lot of Korean restaurants, Japanese, German bakeries. I mean, if you leave Salt Lake hungry, you've done something wrong. And the other thing I want to mention is many of our restaurants are also featured at the airport. So I'm going to create a list for you guys that says, in case you missed it, in case they missed some of these places to eat, they're going to have them at the airport, and you can pop into them and try them before you leave for your clients. So we also have a brewery pass, and this is the pass with 15 different breweries on them, and it's self-guided. So you kind of take your pass, you go around. It has a $5 for every stop you have $5 to spend there, whether you want to spend it on a beer or food or whatever. It's part of the pass, so it's easy to manage as well. And a lot of the breweries are in walking distance when it comes to downtown, but they're spread out across the county as well. I just want to talk a little bit about our hotels. If you're looking for the full list of our hotels, we have over 200 rooms and 20,000 rooms. If you pop into this link, it'll give you kind of where all of the hotels that are in our area, to give you a sense of kind of how many rooms they have. And the map I showed you earlier will also help you kind of determine where they are if you're looking for where you want to put your clients. Some of the new ones that opened right after the pandemic, as I mentioned, this is the Hyatt Regency. It's right next to our convention center, has 700 guest rooms. It opened in October 22. So full service restaurant, bar, it's got a pool, real beautiful floor to ceiling windows, so great views of the city throughout. And you can kind of click through here when you get this if you want to see more images. We also opened the Le Méridien and the Element, which are right next to each other. In this picture here, they've got a cool rooftop bar called the Van Ryder. A lot of fun there, and the restaurant downstairs is called the Adelaide. But these are two new hotels, as I mentioned, just opened, with 144 guest rooms in the Le Méridien, and the Element with 126. The Element is great for families too, if you're looking for that for your clients. A lot of connecting rooms, got little kitchenettes, that kind of stuff. Coming soon, this fall, we will be opening up the Asher Adams, which is a autograph collection hotel. It's located in the Gateway, which is just a few blocks from the convention center. What's really cool about this, and what's really exciting for us, is that this picture here, this is the old Union Pacific rail line train station, and this is going to be the lobby. It's in that train station, and then the hotel you see here is built up from behind it. We can't wait for them to open. It's going to be 5-star, and it's got 225 guest rooms. So can't wait to get a site visit of that. But really exciting to see us. You know, we're really great recyclers. We actually recycle a lot of buildings like this. And even with the Olympics, for example, we're probably one of the few Olympic host cities that actually uses all the buildings we built for that. The stadium where the Olympics were is used by the Utah the University of Utah for their sports games, and even the dorms used to be the athlete village rooms. So we're really good at recycling, very conscious of all of that. The fourth hotel that opened in 22 is the Evo Hotel. Now, Evo is actually a outfit gear business, and they decide to open up a hotel. So what's really cool about this hotel is that, I mean, it pays homage to our great outdoors here. They've got indoor skate park you see there. They've got a rock climbing wall. This is their gym. This is amazing. The picture's a little blurry. I'll see if I can find a better one. Some of these didn't come out that well, but this is a 50-room hotel, and it's part of the kind of the camp, what they call the campus. It includes their retail store, the park, the rock climbing wall, and the skate park as well. So if you're not staying here, I believe you can still try the rock climbing wall. They do have a small fee for that, but it's pretty cool. Like I said, it's built for people who just love the outdoors, and great, unique place to stay if that's what your clients are interested in. And then some of the other hotels I just wanted to feature because these kind of show the breadth of what we have in terms of offerings for hotels. We have the Little America. This is 850 guest rooms. They have, I'm just going to go back to this picture to show you. They have a tower right here. This is the tower rooms, and then this is kind of the lodge. They actually started out with the lodge, then built the tower, then they eventually built this other one here, which I'll get to in a second. But so you've got, what's great about this area is they're independently owned, so they do direct contracting, and they have different price points, whether you're in the lodge here, the tower, or this tower. They've got great dining options. The coffee shop is very popular with locals as well, as they have a restaurant and lounge, pool, fitness center, all of that. And then their sister property across the street, this is the Grand America, and there's 775 guest rooms here. This was opened actually right before the 2002 Olympics. So imagine all the new hotels we got for those Olympics. We're probably going to get a lot more for the 2034. What I love about both of these properties, the rooms are very spacious, a lot of beautiful gardens, as you see here, all the services, full service hotel for this one, and beautiful views of the city. We've had a lot of renovations as well going on, as literally after, I think they were all saving their money during the pandemic. So a lot of our hotels went and decided to renovate, from the Kimpton Monaco, which is actually, this is a historic hotel. President Biden stayed here not too long ago, last year. They fully renovated this top to bottom. It used to be an old bank, so when you're at the restaurant, you can even see the old bank teller windows there. Some of the other chains, the Marriott, the Radisson, the DoubleTree, all have been renovated, and there's even more, a few more on the list. But so a lot of new property, a lot of new and clean product out there for your clients. I mentioned the greatest snow on earth. We have 4 ski resorts within Salt Lake County. Many of you may know Park City, also known for skiing. We have our own product as well. They're 45 minutes from downtown and the airport. Alta, Brighton, Snowbird, and Solitude are the 4 resorts. Alta is for skiers only. The other 3 do allow snowboards as well. But all our season is pretty much ending soon. I think Alta and Brighton might be closing April 14th. Snowbird and Solitude a little bit longer. Snowbird has a tram that's also great for the summer. And all of these mountains that these ski resorts are on are also great for hiking. I think I read somewhere we have like 28,000 miles of hiking trails around us. We also sell the Super Pass and the Ski Super Pass, and what this is this is a very flexible and value pass for visitors. It's good for all 4 of our ski resorts that I mentioned. It's good in 1 to 10 day increments. There are no blackout dates, and it's available throughout the season. So all 4 of our resorts are Icon Pass holder icon resorts. So if your clients are not interested in being an icon pass member and they just want to come for the weekend or a couple of days, this is a great pass. And like I said, there's no blackout dates. There are no no reservations required, and these are negotiated rates we work directly with our ski resorts on. We also this year had the Cottonwood Connect shuttle. This goes up to the mountains for $10 each way. Other ways to get up to the mountain if you don't have a car, if your clients don't have a car, is anyone with our Ski Super Pass ticket can also ride free on tracks, as well as the Utah Transportation Authority's bus shuttles that go up to all 4 of the resorts. So the other way would be the Cottonwood Connect, which would get you reserved seats on those more of like the smaller 15 passenger, 20 passenger buses. Southwest Adventure Tours is a great company that we work with. They do day tours of the area with daily departures. They have a walking tour, a driving tour of the city, and then they go out to the Great Salt Lake and Antelope Island. I've listed links here to if you want to learn more about each of these tours, just some general information here, but these are all great ways to kind of see the area in and around the area, as well as out to the Great Salt Lake. In Antelope Island, you actually see these bison. You can see a little bit of this bison in the background. I was out there and they literally come right up to the car. There's about 2,000, I think, out there now. It is a state park and they are protected. There was I guess a farm back in the day, and these they continue to have more out there each year, and it's kind of fun to see all the little babies if you hit it at the right time. And then beyond Salt Lake, I remember beyond our city, as I mentioned, the Great Salt Lake is not far. It's about a less than an hour drive from here. And most of the people see the Great Salt Lake from Antelope Island. Bonneville Flats a little bit further out. We also have the Utah Olympic Park, and this was, again, one of the venues for the Olympics. You can go there year round, and there is a museum around the Olympics, but they also do bobsledding and zip lining in the summer. Some of the athletes train there as well. So that's one of the things I would visit on the way if you're interested, if your clients are going to Park City. Park City is a little bit higher than us. It used to be a silver mining town. Now it's one of the premier ski destinations in the world. And then, Salt Lake is a great base camp for all the national parks that are surrounding us. The Mighty Five parks here in Utah, which is Arches, Bryce, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, and Zion National Park, are all within a 5-hour drive. So it's so easy to use us as a base camp to fly into and then get your clients down to the parks in the south. And then if you go north, we are also the closest largest international airport to Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons. We work closely with our friends up in the northern states to promote that as well. And then to the east of us, the Great Basin National Park on the border of Nevada is one of the least visited national park. Well, one of them. There's others that are less visited, but the great thing about even Great Basin is you don't need to make a reservation. So all great parks that are so close to us and so easy for us to be used as a base camp for any of these. I also want to mention the attraction passes we have. They're good for 9 days, and the idea is there that we'd love to see people kind of come to Salt Lake. Maybe they need to, well, I guess the time difference isn't going to be that drastic, but get over their jet lag or just chill before they head out to the parks. Those passes, the attraction passes, are good for 9 days. So thinking that you could fly into Salt Lake, go up to one of these parks, and then come back over the next weekend. You still be valid to check out some of our attractions. So another opportunity, I think, for your clients to explore our city. And that is us. So my information is here as well as Christy's. And I see we have a lot of questions. So I will leave this up just in case anyone want to get this down. But again, I can also send this, we'll be sending out this link to you so that you have our contact information.
Thank you so much, Anton. And so much amazing information in there. What a great presentation. And yeah, definitely keep your contact information up, because we often have agents asking to go back to the slide with the contact information. So great to end there. Thank you. We do have a lot of questions, so I am just going to get started with those. Our first question, well, there was a comment from Angela, and she was just saying, yes, very happy Air Canada flies direct into Salt Lake. And then our first question comes from Amanda Stewart. And I know this was answered during the presentation, but we can ask it again. Amanda is asking, does the public transportation system take cash?
Christy, help me out. I've only done the free part of it, to be honest. I've been here less than a year. They do not.
But
okay.
there are ticket machines at the stations, and they accept cash, and you can buy a ticket that way. Otherwise,
Awesome.
There's an app for it as well.
Great, thank you. But as you were saying, within certain parts of Salt Lake, it's free fares for transit. Is that correct?
Right in the downtown area, yes.
Yeah, right in the downtown area. Great. And then Kate Froming was asking, sort of along those lines, are there free bike rentals that visitors can take advantage of in Salt Lake?
No, that's also, I think, app-based, as well as our scooters.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then we have a question here again from Angela, and she's asking about tracks and does it run 24 hours?
Christy? I don't believe so. I'll double check, and I will put that in the deck. I'll update the deck with that information.
Okay,
good question,
thanks.
Angela. Thanks for stumping me.
And Christy, if you're looking it up, you can just hop back in and answer that if you get the answer. Or again, we can include the answer to that in our follow-up email as well. Our next question.
Got the answer for you.
Oh, okay, great.
The answer is our tracks runs from 5 a.m. to midnight. So there's just 5 hours of the night where it's not open.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for that answer. Our next question comes from Janet, and she says, I'm so excited to visit Salt Lake, or this is more a comment rather. And she's says, I'm so excited to visit Salt Lake. I was there in the late 80s and it has grown so much. And I think,
yeah, Janet, you're going to be surprised how much more it's grown.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
We'd love to have you come out and see it for yourself again.
Our next question is from Corey, and he says he loves the Bonneville Shoreline Trail, so accessible to anyone that stays in Salt Lake City. Thanks for that, Corey, that comment. And then here's a question from Angela, and she is asking, where is this place located? My daughter is going in May. I wrote a note. Angela, if you want to pop in the chat exactly what you were referring to when you asked this question. I think you meant, I wrote it down, some of the art museums. Is that right?
No, this is the place. Is actually the name of the attraction is called This Is the Place.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, that is within 5 miles of downtown, very close. It's right across from the zoo as well. It's like I said, it's a pioneer town. It's got a lot of the area, the buildings there have been moved over or rebuilt as a replica, but it's really cool kind of pioneer town. You get to walk around in. They've got exhibits, but it's not far, a few minutes from downtown.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that answer. Sorry, Angela, I misread the question. Our next question comes from Kelly, and she says, I see the Tulip Festival. I know you also covered other festivals during the presentation, but she is asking, are there any festivals held through other festivals that visitors are held throughout the year that you should see? I know you talked about this already a little bit, but maybe you could also share a little bit more on some of the festivals you both love or that are coming up soon, or to just expand on that.
I'll let Chrissy take that question.
Happy to take this one. If you like, I can actually send you, we've got a list by season of our festivals, but some of the ones I'm excited about that we have coming up Pretty soon at the end of April, we'll have the Japan Festival. And in early May, we've got the Living Traditions Festival, which is so cool. It celebrates the heritage of many minorities and groups in Utah, and it's a good way for them to put on display of like all their cool traditions. There's a lot of like native dancing and like cultural activities and foods. It was just a really cool festival that we do. Um, there's a lot going on. Like
Yeah, we have a
Anton said,
Greek
we've got
festival in September. I love that one.
yeah.
Yeah, the huge Greek community here as well. There's just so many great communities that celebrate their different cultural celebrations and events. And so it's always easy to take part of any of that. Like Chrissy said, we have a full list. I will actually we'll put it as an attachment into this deck, Chrissy, so they can have access to that as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for those answers. So many festivals. I'm like, oh, what would I want to go to? So many. Another question from Angela. She's asking, is there anything on or a website for mountain climbers for
Um,
Salt Lake visitors?
all of our trails are good for a variety of skilled levels. I don't know any for mountain climbing specifically. I mean, I think the highest mountains go up to 10,000 feet, and I don't know that in sorry, I don't know that in meters, but it's not as high as like some of the other mountains around the world. I don't know that specifically, but I can try to find out and let you know, Angela.
Okay, thank you.
I know.
Another question from Kate, and she's asking, does the airport charge more money than eating in Salt Lake places? So I'm guessing what you're asking here, Kate, is for somebody coming into the airport or flying out from Salt Lake City, is it better to eat at a restaurant or in the airport? I'm guessing.
Both. I'm gonna say both,
Yes.
but no, they don't charge that much more. I don't even think it's more. My favorite place, I'll let you in a little secret, it's called, and Christy too, we both love it. It's called Vessel Kitchen. I noticed the prices there are not the same. I mean, they're the same as what they charge at the restaurant on 9th and 9th, which is a neighborhood area we're in. So I don't believe so. If it is, this might be minor. You won't probably not notice it.
Okay, thank you for that answer. This question comes from Amanda, and she is asking, can the brewery pass / ski passes be bought through any suppliers that would pay a commission for our travel agents, such as Viator?
Yeah, so the brewery pass, the brewery pass is not because that lives. We use a platform called Bandwango, and that can be just picked up on our site. It's very straightforward for that one. The ski passes are not either, and the big reason why it's not on a lot of these platforms is our ski resorts work really hard to get people up to the mountains. A lot of them are local, and they don't want locals trying to kind of taking advantage of the system by trying to buy cheaper tickets through what we're doing. So we do direct contracting and with tour operators if they're interested. We can also tell you which tour operators in Canada are selling these passes if you want to buy them through them. And yeah, during the season, the hotels that around are that we have hotels who actually sell those passes as well. So you can pick them up in the hotels too, or work with the hotel. They can package that sometimes. And that Cottonwood Connect I mentioned, there are actually stops at some of the hotels. So those hotels definitely would package it together. Be happy to help you, Amanda, connect you with our ticketing manager if that's something you want to do directly, or I'll give you the list of which of the ski operators in Canada are selling those passes.
Thank you. Thanks for that answer and the clarification. Another question from Angela. She's asking, do you know, this is for the ski resorts, do they offer complimentary shuttle from airport to resort?
I am not sure, but I will find out. I don't think so, but I'll find out for certain. We do have, as I mentioned, shuttles that go for public transportation that go up to the resorts. Snowbird and Alta have accommodations, so they're the kind of the ski in, ski out type of resorts. To be honest, I've only been here less than a year. I have not been to Alta and Brighton, but we are going there next week, Christy and I, to scope that out for you. But I'll let you know. But I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. Another question from Angela, wanting to do a ski group after Christmas for New Year's. Is there snow in December or is it a gamble?
There is snow in December, particularly later in December. You should not have any problem, but who knows what global warming is going to give us. We typically get, as I mentioned, 500 inches of snow, and it's a lot of it is lake effect snow. So that's kind of our guarantee. We're not, I'm sort of not really guaranteed, but it'll be likely that you'd have snow in the I think this year our season started in late November, and last year, as I mentioned, it was quite epic. It started in October, like around Halloween. So I don't think that's that much of a gamble.
November is pretty typical for the opening dates of the resort. So yeah, we can usually count on some snow in the mountains by November.
Excellent. Thank you. I hope that answers your question, Angela. Another question from Amanda, and she's asking, can Antelope Island be done on your own, or does it have to be done as a guided tour? Where would be the best place to book that if looking at a tour option there?
It does not need to be a guided tour. It is a state park. You can just drive up, pay the fee as you enter, like any state park, and tool around on your own.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Linda is just asking, she was late to register and she wants to know about the recording. Yes, this is recorded, Linda, as all our Travel Week webinars are. You will get a link to the recording in the follow-up email to this presentation. And just to go over for all our Travel Week community, if you're ever looking for a recording of a webinar, they are all posted on Travel Week's YouTube channel as well. So you can always go to our YouTube channel and you will find them there, including this one. It'll be up most likely by end of day today, if not for sure tomorrow. Okay. That we've done. This next one comes from Kelly, and she's asking, I might have missed this, but is there a camping available in the parks or surrounding areas? And is any of the camping season specific?
Yes, there are campsites outside of kind of our urban area. Kelly, I will have to get you that list, kind of where that is, if you're interested. I'm not sure how far you want to go out, but I mean, how far from here? If you're talking about the parks, as in the national parks, yes, there is camping available in most of them.
Great. Thank you so much. Angela says, thank you so much for answering my questions.
My
Excellent
pleasure.
webinar. Kelly has one more question, and she says, the ski resorts, are there amenities to keep a non-skiing spouse happy while the other one is enjoying the slopes?
Absolutely. We've got it's a snowbird, for example, has a spa. Who doesn't love a spa while your better half is skiing? And of course, all the restaurants and things like that. There's also snowshoeing that can be done, cross-country skiing if you're not into downhill. I love snowshoeing. A lot of people say, a lot of people may not think of that as like some kind of fun, but I do. Try those other activities. Yeah, we've got a lot of that. Ice skating too.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. Yes, I'm not a downhill skier, but I also live in a province with lots of skiing, and those are the options that I choose as well. Corey Marshall also just had a comment in the chat and saying he had an amazing stay at Hotel Monaco last October and that the service was incredible. So he just wanted to share that as well. And that is all our questions for today. Kate also says, excellent webinar. Thank you for all the details. And Kelly again says, thank you so much. And I would like to reiterate that and just say thank you to Anton and Christy and Visit Salt Lake for being here today and for sharing all this wonderful information and answering so many questions for our Travel Week community today. So thank you for being here. Do either of you have anything you would like to add before we close out the show?
Oh, we just want to say thank you, everyone, for taking the time to hearing what we have to say about Salt Lake. We hope to see you here soon. If there's anything that we can help you with, you have our contact information. We'll send out this deck for you. And it was a pleasure answering all your questions and telling you more about Salt Lake. So we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much. And thanks to all our Travel Week participants who are joining us here live. And for those of you watching the recording, for those who join live and who have stayed through to the end, and you are now all eligible to be entered into the draw to win the 2 prizes for today. Also, we've kept track of all of you who are asking questions during the webinar, and we've got your extra entries recorded as well. So those will go into the draw also. So good luck, and stay tuned for the follow-up email where we will announce the prize, and you'll have all that follow-up information that Anton and Chrissy were mentioning during the presentation. So thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye.